Hello, Warlords and Generals. Welcome back to my channel. Today we will be covering the Lord of Change himself, Tzeentch, the Chaos God of Change, Lies, and Deceit, and Lord of Magic within Warhammer 40K's universe setting. And without further ado, let's begin. Tzeentch, the Changer of Ways, the Architect of Fate, and the Chaos God of Magic, Change, Evolution, and Intrigue, was the second of the four to awaken fully within the Warp, being the chaotic aspect of lies and plans, being specifically given more power through change and ambition among mortals. He is the one who weaves plots and initiates an infinite amount of them. Some finishing whenever some starting, some failing, causing 5 others to start, and around the intrigue of and density no mortal mind can conceive them. Even most blessed of Tzeentch cannot comprehend some of the intrigue and convolutedness of some of his plans. Even more confounding is the majority of these plots do not have some end to them, or if he does, only he understands them. He simply schemes to scheme, often in constant flux of building new ones as old ones collapse. All come to Tzeentch for knowledge and the ability to make complex plans for themselves, or for enlightenment to gain deeper knowledge and further enlighten themselves to the nature of the universe, the warp, and magic in general. At the beginning, I mentioned several of his titles. On top of these titles that I've mentioned, Tzeentch goes by many other titles, such as the Weaver of Destinies, the Great Conspirator, and many hundreds of others. Feeding upon the need for change, he watches as his playthings unfold his schemes without knowing it, twisting fate and fortune to meet his scheme's ends. And all feed the need for change, from lowly peasant workers on agri-worlds to planetary governors. Tzeentch feeds and plans all of their ambitions and desires. Above this, his eyes, 2 horns sit upon, that crackle with arcane energies. As far as the aspects of his true form seems to change entirely based on who looks upon him. If they do not go completely mad by doing so in the first place. Being the god of sorcery and magic comes off of Tzeentch like a liquid smoke. Any who appear in his presence risk mutation and madness. His colors are as his god colors, gold and blue and rainbows, very fitting for the Lord of Change. And the sacred number is 9, as his legions are broke up into 9, and that his most favored Lord of Changes go in random orders of 9, and which order this is changes based on Tzeentch's whims. Even compared to the other Chaos Gods, maybe besides Khorne, his sacred number is actually the most important for his aspect. This affects everything from rites of an acolyte to a perfectly drawn summoning symbols. 9 is always involved. Even in his legion is broken into the 999 legions. Broken into legions led by the favored of Tzeentch, which one of the most favored constantly change and fluxed. As I just mentioned, these would be the Lords of Change, his greater demons. Though the Chaos Gods are in constant rivalry and allying with each other in the thing known as the Great Game, Tzeentch's opposite is Nurgle, Lord of Decay and Entropy. As Tzeentch represents chaos as energy, this puts them at odds. Where Nurgle gives decay and stagnation, Tzeentch promotes potential and growth. Tzeentch also holds a unique role amongst the gods. He brokers peace and alliances between them, though these are never altruistic reasons. For all of this, the actions, it's just another action towards his plans. As he is changing and his form fluid, so is his domain in constant flux as well. The Crystal Labyrinth is the name of Tzeentch's domain and his realm. It shifts constantly. Everyone, regardless of human, Xenos, or demon, interprets it differently. That is the nature of the endless ocean of the warp, to perceive it as they perceive it, and thus Tzeentch's realm exaggerates it even further. Those of stronger minds and wills can do many strange things in Tzeentch's domain. Those who have seen the domain describe a crystalline maze made of corrupt opals, the labyrinth splitting, merging, and shifting within itself constantly. The labyrinth has no guards, for only the Lords of Change and those who have gained insight into irrevocable madness that is Tzeentch can have any hope of navigating it and not remain lost for an eternity. Those who stare may see contradiction images, history and fiction, dreams and nightmares as examples. Time functions strangely in the warp. This effect is amplified in Tzeentch's domain. A few moments in his realm could be years in real space. As an example, there have been incidents where people have visited Tzeentch's realm and have died of dehydration instantly when they return from the warp only a few seconds later, due to the fact that they just stood in Tzeentch's realm not eating or drinking, and therefore it seemed like they instantly died of dehydration. There is only one single denizen of the labyrinth. It is simply known as the Guardian. Rumor has it that there are gates to infinite knowledge, and it is said that the Guardian is above all 9 simultaneously, asking one of the 999 riddles of Zarathoth? Here it is on the screen. You have fun pronouncing it. If you answer correctly, you're allowed passage. Fail even one and you will wander the maze forever, going insane with regret you did not attain infinite knowledge. Though tales indicate that there is only one singular entity to ever make it through the maze by answering all the riddles of the Guardian, and the only indication we have of who this is a small child accompanied by a small black dog. Who this is has been left up to many of debate between the Ordo Malleus's sub-factions, and is on even if it is true or not, or if it's just a tale spun by the Lord of Change himself to make people come to his labyrinth and fail constantly for his own amusement. At the center, or best relative terms the nature of this realm, is Tzeentch's sanctuary, known as the Impossible Fortress. To those who have seen it, describe it as being made of the same crystal the labyrinth is made of, with unstable spires sprouting from the foundation simultaneously. Doors, gates, and other portals will open slowly along with surface on its only to snap shut suddenly and vanish. Only, much like the labyrinth, only the Lords of Change can navigate its halls, for they have instilled in them their master's intellect, for even the most heretical and mad of mortal architects couldn't draw up plans for this fortress. Fables indicate that deep within this fort is Tzeentch's hidden library. In this library, all knowledge is written and unwritten. It is stored in tomes and parchments, infinite knowledge for those who can make it through all the insanity of Tzeentch's realm, including the maze, the fortress itself, and then finally to the library itself. As for the books, they are rewritten and reorganizing themselves constantly. Horrors of Tzeentch work tireless as librarians to catalogs and reshelf and maintain the only sense of order within this realm. Though such things are perverse to Tzeentch's nature. Though nothing is as it seems in the Changer of Ways' realm, every account of the maze and fortress range from a lone hill with a tree, leafless stood, alone, and barren landscape with headless humans, who multiplied like cells. even a realm overrun by fungoid trees and sentient plant life. Many scholars debate the truth. Some say the realm of the Architect of Fates is subjective to the person. Some even imply Tzeentch himself controls what all, including immortal or demon, see when they enter into his realm in some inconceivable by mortal extension of his own plans and his own will. For that is the nature of Tzeentch, to control your own perception of reality and see the change that he is going to bring. And that wraps up Tzeentch's lore. I hope you enjoyed us covering himself, his powers, his aspects, and his realm. Unlike Khorne, though, we're going to save the demons for a separate video, because Tzeentch's lore was so dense and tongue-twisty for me to get through to begin with. If you liked the video, please like it. If you want to support the channel, please subscribe for future content. If you want to point out anything I got wrong or discuss in general, please leave a comment down below. This has been Tabhammer. I hope you all have a nice day and make time for some fun with Warhammer.